Juju Watkins might be the next big deal in women's sports. She's got this one of a kind talent and personality, which explains why she's getting so much love and support. She is smashing records and setting crazy high standards. But what's the secret behind her meteoric rise? Find out now and witness greatness in action. Subscribe and stay tuned for her next move. Seriously, women's college basketball hasn't seen anyone like her before. Her first game was killer, 32 points against Ohio State, smashing the record for most points by a freshman at USC. Even with big names like Bronny James on the men's team, she's the main star at USC and in the Pac-12 conference. She might even outshine Caitlin Clark, but only time will tell. I know a lot of you are curious about her life off the court, so here's the scoop on Juju Watkins. Now here's something that everyone knows about Juju. Her real name isn't actually Juju. Her full birth names are Judea Sky Watkins. She was born on July 15, 2005 in Watts, California. Her mom is Sari Watkins and her dad is Robert Neil Watkins. Her family's got some pretty cool history dating back to the 1950s when Dwight Eisenhower and John Kennedy were calling the shots in America. Her grandpa Ted Watkins started up the famous WLCAC, or Watts Labor Community Action Committee. But here's where it gets juicy. The Watkins crew isn't originally from California. Grandpa Theodore Watkins hails from Mississippi, born in 1912. When he was just 12, he narrowly escaped being lynched by white supremacists, so he booked it to California for safety. That's where he landed a gig at Ford Motor Company. He joined up with various worker groups, mostly made up of black folks. He saw a ton of discrimination going down, especially during the Watts riots of 1965. That's when he decided to start the WLCAC, a group to help out black workers. In 1981, he even got a call from Baroness Margaret Thatcher asking for advice on calming down the London riots. Pretty impressive, right? With a history like that, Juju Watkins is destined for greatness. She's not backing down, and you can bet she'll be hitting the big leagues before you know it. Juju's folks were ballers themselves, but they had dreams of her dominating the tennis court like Serena Williams. They even envisioned her as their own tennis superstar. But when they realized tennis wasn't her thing, they thought maybe she could kill it as a supermodel. She had the looks and height for it after all. But you know how it goes. Sometimes the man upstairs has other plans. It was like the universe had it all mapped out for her to be a basketball sensation. Once he got her hands on that ball, there was no turning back. It became her whole vibe, her passion, her escape, her everything. Here's a twist. Even though she was all about the game, she didn't really know much about it. Like, she didn't even have the basic skills down. Her first year on the court was a mess of travels and technicalities. They even said she couldn't play. But her folks weren't having it. They took charge, coaching her in the backyard alongside her 3 older siblings. Juju was always the quiet type. Even back in school, she kept to herself. But don't let that fool you. She was all about that competition. With her height and lightning-fast moves on the court, she pretty much owned the game in every way. Even at home, she'd give her siblings a run for their money on their backyard court. At school, she started racking up 20 to 30 points per game like it was nothing. It didn't take long for everyone to recognize her as the star player, always starting and leading the game. Word about her skills spread like wildfire across the country. By the time she hit 8th grade, she was already making waves at Windward School in LA, playing a couple of seasons there. Imagine this, as a 14-year-old freshman from South LA, she'd have to trek back and forth for hours just to get to her basketball games. But with her parents by her side giving all her support she needed, she knew she had what it takes to make it in the basketball world. In her first year, she averaged 21 points and 9 rebounds per game, enough to lead her team to the regional final and snag the Open Division title game in the California Interscholastic Federation Southern Section. That's when she earned the titles of Los Angeles Times Player of the Year and Sports Kid of the Year by Sports Illustrated Kids. In her sophomore year, Watkins stepped up her game big time, averaging 27 points and 12 rebounds per game. Then she made a move to Sierra Canyon School, and from there it was like the start of something legendary. By her senior year, she was absolutely killing it, averaging 27.3 points, 13.8 rebounds, and 3.6 assists per game. She wasn't just putting up numbers. She was leading Sierra Canyon to major victories. They even clinched the CIF Southern Section Open Division title, thanks to her insane skills on the court. In one epic final game, she dropped a jaw-dropping 60 points, cementing her name in local sports history. It was the second highest score in the area's history and led to a huge win over Notre Dame High School. The scoreboard said it all. Juju Watkins wasn't just individually brilliant, she was the driving force behind her team's success. By the end of her senior year, they had a killer 31-win record, with Watkins leading them all the way to the regional final. She racked up accolades like it was nobody's business. Gatorade National Player of the Year, Naismith Prep Player of the Year, you name it. The local papers, the Los Angeles Times, and the Los Angeles Daily News couldn't stop singing her praises, crowning her Player of the Year once more. Back home in California, she snagged the California Gatorade Player of the Year and Miss Basketball honors. But she didn't stop there. She took her game to the national stage, showing up in the McDonald's All-American Game and the Nike Hoop Summit, where she even snagged MVP honors. And when it came to the international scene, she didn't disappoint. At the 2021 FIBA Under-16 Americas Championship in Mexico, she was a key player in the United States gold medal win, averaging 20 points, 5.7 rebounds, 5.2 steals, and 3.7 assists per game. She even took home the tournament MVP title. The following year, she did it all over again at the 2022 FIBA Under-17 World Cup in Hungary, leading her team to another gold and earning MVP honors with averages of 13.1 points, 6.4 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and 2.3 steals per game. ESPN didn't hesitate to label her a 5-star recruit and the #1 player in the 2023 class. Her decision to commit to USC on November 15, 2022 was a game-changer in her basketball journey. She had offers from South California and Stanford on the table, but she ultimately chose USC. And let me tell you, it wasn't just any decision. It was a groundbreaking move. During her junior year, she made history by signing with Clutch Sports Group, becoming the first female athlete to join the agency. She took her game to the next level by sealing a deal with Nike on October 10, 2022. This wasn't just any deal. It was a name, image, and likeness agreement that solidified her presence both on and off the court. With endorsements and branding in the bag, she's set to make even bigger waves in the future. So, what do you think sets Juju Watkins apart from other athletes in her league? Comment below and let us know your thoughts. For more exciting updates on athletes like Juju Watkins and their journey to greatness, subscribe to our channel now and hit the bell icon. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time.